There we are.
Pantless Podcast. Two guys talking without wearing pants. Pantless Podcast. You can take our ideas.
Welcome back to the Pantless Podcast. I'm Travis.
I'm Austin.
Yeah.
And we're here.
We're here.
We're here.
Right here.
Here.
There. And here.
There, here, everywhere.
All around us. How have you been doing?
I've been great, man. Been running around being busy, but feeling good.
Good.
Yeah. How have you been?
Beat down?
Beat down, really?
Beat up. Just...
I know you've run into a few little snags this
been-
week, haven't you?
It's been something else. At the end of the day, I was just mentally drained. I almost just decided not to even do this tonight.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't have the... Here lately, I just haven't had the mental capacity to do anything lately, so... But we're here.
Yeah. We are professionals.
No.
Professionals.
Overrated.
One of these days, I don't go out in the real world. I am
Sucks.
like, I'm super focused.
People are out
I
there.
don't look at stuff. I'm just, if I have to go out to buy something, I know what I'm buying, and I'm going straight to that thing.
Yeah?
Well, the other day, I had my own little snafus with a flat tire that forced me to go to Walmart to get a tire. And while I was waiting, I just decided to pretend I was a teenager again and stroll through electronics. And there's a lot of there's a lot of cool stuff in electronics, man.
Yeah.
And there's podcast stuff like soundboards and
Oh, yeah?
camera, webcam, vlog setups, and it's reasonably priced. And I'm thinking to myself, why have I never done this before? Like, there's a lot of good stuff. So I got a lot of good Christmas ideas. Threw it on my Elster. Maybe my family, friends will buy me stuff for Christmas this year.
There you go.
And I won't have just like the Discords. I'll have like legit ones that are Pantless Podcasts.
So, when I go to Walmart and I'm just trying to kill time, I go to toys first.
Yeah.
I'm still that guy that goes... Well,
So you go even further back in time.
well, I go look at diecasts. I go look at Hot Wheels.
Okay.
And Legos.
Okay. Legos are depressing because they're so expensive.
They are.
Like, they have so many cool kids out there now, but
Oh, dude,
so
don't even...
expensive. So expensive.
How much was the one that me and the wife were looking at the other day? Because I took a picture of it.
I bet it was at least $80.
Oh, it was...
And
You'd be more depressed. It was a Japanese It was a tranquil Japanese garden, and it was 110.
Oh,
I'll send you the... Here,
yeah, that's crazy.
I'll send you the picture of it. So go to your phone. Yeah, no, because it's like a diorama set that you would display. And they had like a cornucopia, like flowers.
That's pretty.
Yeah, I want that so bad. That's why I don't.
It doesn't even look like it's that many pieces. Why is it so expensive?
The box was pretty big. The box was good size. It was probably 1,500 to 2,000 piece.
Wow, it does not. Okay.
So, yeah, I do, and I try to stay out of electronics. That's where I could truly spend way too much money. Speaking of electronics, and video games, TMNT Shredder's Revenge DLC dropped yesterday.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
The kids were playing it last night. It's not as... It's $8.
That's not bad.
You get 2 new playable characters. Usagi Yojimbo and Karai are the two new playable characters.
Okay.
Yojimbo's he's a samurai rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Karai, that's she's the Shredder's second in command, head of the foot, but also teams up with the turtles from time to time.
An anti-hero kind of person.
I think it's one of those deals where she kind of gets tired of what old dad's doing and fights against him.
Just to be a rebellious teenager.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But me and the son were playing as new characters while the others are playing as the other ones, and they're pretty awesome to play as.
Yeah.
And they added a new survival mode, which is I wasn't into it. I'm like, because I thought the DLC would just add new missions.
Yeah.
Expand the story, but it just adds a survival mode.
Oh, it does not add to the story.
I didn't find any. No.
Oh, that's a downer. That's a downer that might prevent me from getting it.
But give me some more time with it, because we may go back through and beat the final mission, which, if you remember, Shredder sucked at the end. That last mission is not fun. Me and the kids beat it a while back. The one where you fight Super
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, you do like 3 boss battles in a row.
Yeah.
And then it ends with Super Shredder and no health. Yeah. But I like it adds 2 more characters. And now I'm trying to level up the 2 new characters in the actual story mode to kind of get all their attacks and whatnot.
Yeah. I might here in a couple weeks, I might try to pick me it up. It's only $8, even if it's $4 a character.
Yeah,
maybe get a little replay value out of it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at. Go back through the story mode as the new characters. We started another playthrough. Teal Mask should be coming out soon for Pokemon Scarlet Violet.
Oh, good call. Isn't that this month?
Should be. I haven't even bought it yet.
I
haven't even. I keep forgetting to hop on there and pre-order that thing. I think that the unrivaled 7-star Mewtwo's going on right now. Did you get your free Mew?
Oh, I forgot about that. I did get the Mew.
Which, heck yeah.
But I haven't fought Mew. You got 2 of them.
1 in each game.
Oh, nice.
And they're what, in my opinion, what's frustrating is that they're randomized. Their Terra type is randomized.
Yeah.
But they do get a special move based off whatever Terra type they are. I think I got one that was a flying, and the other was, I don't even remember what the 2.
Mine was rock.
Lame.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, you got a poor draw on that one. Yeah,
it was bad. But with ancient power, and there was
that's not bad.
What's that? They've got that. There's a special rock move. I can't remember. It's a special attack that's pretty decent, but it's just weak to so many things that it's frustrating. But I guess something cool happens if I use it against Mewtwo, so I got to bust that out this weekend.
Yeah.
Just see what happens.
Maybe we'll get together one Sunday. Maybe Sunday.
Yeah.
Let's hop into what do you know new. I learned something new this week, and I felt like an idiot.
Oh yeah, what'd you learn?
Just a complete moron moment. I learned what pimentos were this week.
What pimentos?
Yeah, I didn't know
what
pimento
worried.
was.
I think it's a pepper, but what is it if it's not a pepper?
It's a pepper.
Okay.
I thought it had something to do with olives. I don't know. I didn't know what a pimento was.
Interesting.
I don't know.
It was like flaky and red, so.
I just know it comes in a jar and you mix cheese and mayonnaise, make pimento cheese sandwiches with it.
Oh, and those are amazing. Some of the best things you could ever put in your mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I didn't know what pimento. It's a pimento pepper. They're a little red pepper that they dice up just like that. That's how they do it.
Yeah, just.
And they dice it up and
like James Bond getting chopped by the bad guys.
No, it's more of a Steven Seagal.
Oh gosh. We've seen some pretty cheesy chops lately. Ugh,
I learned that this week.
nice.
I felt like an idiot.
Have you ever heard? This is what I've learned. Have you ever heard of the band Spirit Box?
Why does that sound familiar?
It's a
Spirit
metal
Box.
band with a female lead vocalist.
Why does that sound so stinking familiar?
I'd never heard of them before, but they have a new song out called Jaded, and I checked it out, and it is really good. Really good. She's got a really good voice, and she's got that deep roar when she wants to,
They're
and
new.
it's pretty cool. They're pretty cool. Never heard of them before, but Spirit Box, check them out.
Why? Why do all these good metal bands not come from the Americas? They're Canadians.
Yeah, who knows?
Huh. That guy sounds familiar. Mark Stringer is a guitar player.
That does sound familiar, doesn't it?
They, like I said, they started in 2017. Well, it says their origin 2016. I'm going to check them out. What song did you say?
Jaded is the one that I heard.
Jaded?
Yeah,
I don't see that on this list.
it's new. Less than a week.
Fair. Because Holy Roller sounds familiar. I got a song called Secret Garden. That's from 2021. Huh. Well, another band you just told me about that I'm gonna have to forget to check out.
Yeah.
I didn't
Hey,
check
here
out
in a
the
couple
last-
weeks, you'll have a lot of time to listen to metal. You'll be on the road.
I was talking to wife. We're gonna be on the road for 10 hours total.
10 hours?
5 hours up and 5 hours back.
Okay.
So a total.
And you're gonna do nothing but listen to the Pantless Podcast.
We are.
You are a trooper.
No, we're at. I was telling her, I think we're gonna find an audiobook to listen to together.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
We have a couple books picked out that we might end up jumping into.
Yeah.
I don't know if you audiobook at all, which I do.
I have a few. I have a few in my queue. I don't.
I will.
I read more like this with a book in my face.
See, I'm complete
But
opposite.
audiobooks are. It's tough for me. I'm like a podcast guy. If I'm on an airplane, I'll listen to an audiobook.
See, but I listen to my audiobook on the way back and forth to work. I'm 30 minutes one way.
Okay. Yeah.
You're about the same.
Yeah. And I'm a podcast. I listen to podcasts.
Oh, I do too. There's 2 podcasts I would listen to every week that drop normally Monday and Tuesday. And I listen to those Monday and Tuesday, and then the rest of the week I audiobook.
Would you care to give them some free advertisement right here?
They're NASCAR podcasts.
Okay.
Nobody really cares.
Yeah.
Nobody in this sphere cares.
We just lost a subscriber because you said that.
They drop every week, Monday and Tuesday, after the NASCAR race hits on Saturday, Sunday. They drop a podcast talking about that weekend of racing.
Okay.
It's my weird stuff. But like I said, I listen to audiobooks. And I'm deep. Well, I say deep. I'm 3 books into a 17-book series right now.
Ooh, wow.
Called The Dresden Files.
Oh, you talked about those. There's like they're super expensive, aren't they, on the Amazon? We looked them up.
Yes, I've heard that if you want to get them on, because I guess they're already, some of them may be out of print at this point, because I guess I want to say he finished that series a couple of years ago, but I think he started, I think we looked at that, because I think the first book was in like the early 2000s. In like a year or 2, he finished the last book. But I started book 3 yesterday. called Grave Peril is book 3.
Okay.
And they're great. But I think me and the wife we're thinking about listening to the My Neighbor Totoro novel. The
Okay.
novel that the movie is based off of, or the House Moving Castle book.
Okay.
Which I've listened to all 3 of the House Moving Castle books on Audible. They're interesting reads.
Yeah.
Loose.
That's really that you're trying to find that, because I'm in the same boat, because we're going to the same show, and I'm trying to figure out what me and my son are going to listen to. I'm like, what would be a cool podcast? And
what show are you guys going to?
We're going to the St. Louis show.
Oh, you got tickets?
We did, yeah. The Omaha show, when I went to get tickets for it, when I finally was like, let's do this, all that was left were like VIP Death Clock tickets. And I was like, what in the...
See, I got...
Omaha, Nebraska is sold out, but then I jumped into St. Louis, and they had some seats left, and I was at work, and I was like, I was texting my wife, hey, can you get us tickets? The ones I wanted are sold out. Just get the day before in St. Louis, please. And she got us some
where are you guys
tickets.
at?
I think we're like in 104.
Okay, so I think we're in 105.
Are you?
You're closer to the outside. Like if the stage is here.
Yeah, we're on the out. Yeah, we're moving towards the outside.
We're the section in about a quarter of the way up from the bottom. We're actually in. Which it's weird because how far we are from the stage.
We're even farther than that. We're in 101, so we're like on the outside.
Oh yeah, you won't even see me. But we're in the Baby Metal VIP section.
Fancy.
So we actually get early entry. We get some exclusive merch and whatnot. And we're hoping, and this is kind of a weird thing to hope for. We're kind of hoping that Baby Metal comes on first.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
And Death Clock comes on second, so that we can listen to a couple Death Clock songs and go, man, we really need to use the bathroom. Go out, hit the merch tent, and like dip out early and get home.
Yeah.
Because we have to be home to take our kids to school that next morning. I'm off both days of work. But we have to be home in time to get the kids to school that next morning.
Yeah.
So if we can, if Baby Metal gets off stage at, 9 o'clock, it starts at 7. I don't know how long they're going to perform.
And there's no other openers. It's just those two, or is there an opener?
I haven't seen anything else about. They may have someone on stage for like the VIP people coming on early, but I haven't seen anybody else with them.
Interesting.
I do want to watch a little bit of Death Clock though. I've not.
Yeah.
I've looked online. I haven't really done a huge deep dive of them. But all I ever find of them is animated.
It's all animated, yeah. I don't even know if they're real people. And it might be like the Gorillas.
Or just a screen comes down and
it's going to be a screen. That's what I think. I don't think there's going to be people. I think it's going to be a screen.
Really?
I think so.
That'd be interesting. And I wouldn't enjoy it. I don't know why.
And it's got that, it's just the animation's so weird with their like yeah.
They have a Metalocalypse movie at Walmart right now on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I'm like, I listened to a couple of their songs. I'm like, Face Fisted is my favorite song of theirs so far. Of all the songs,
I haven't checked them out recently. It's been probably 4 years since I've actually listened to a Death Clock song.
On their YouTube channel, they actually dropped their first new song in over 10 years called Aortic Dissertation.
Okay.
And we listened to it, and not good. Not great. I didn't enjoy it. Me and the wife watched it together and went, didn't really enjoy it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't like, I couldn't even tell you anything about the song. It was so unforgettable of a song.
Okay.
Like it just nothing stuck. Like I could, probably, Face Fisted kind of got stuck in my head a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I added Face Fisted to our Spotify playlist.
I thought you did last.
I
thought you did that a couple weeks ago.
I really did. Okay, so I'm gonna delete it because you're right. I did.
Yeah. But no, bro. I am excited for this show. We can talk more about details later of things, but do you have any breaking news? Let's roll this along.
There is a bunch of breaking news.
Probably a lot of stuff going
I
on
am
right now.
trying to figure out what would be the best. I'm gonna keep it light. I'm gonna keep it light-ish, because
I like some ish light.
Martha Stewart is in some hot water right now.
Again?
Because she went on a cruise, had a cocktail, and had a piece of iceberg, because she was in like a Norwegian cruise, and there was a Norwegian iceberg that they were near, and the people on the cruise line made her a cocktail and had a piece of the iceberg in her drink to keep it cool.
Fancy.
And people are freaking out because she is increasing, expediting, speeding up, whatever word you want to use, the end of the world, because every time somebody takes an ice cube off of an iceberg, Miami is closer to sinking into the Atlantic Ocean.
Are we going to miss it?
And
are we going to miss it?
Apparently lots of people are, because people are freaking out. It's crazy. Because she put on her Insta, hey, look at this. I don't know what it looks like, a mudslide or something. It looks delicious. I like a mudslide, and you add an iceberg into a mudslide and making it an icy, bergy, muddy slide thing. That would be fantastic.
I bet you it tastes Titanic to me.
Sir, too soon.
I couldn't help it.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't help it. I hope that clip, somebody could clip that, and that could be what gets us canceled.
It will be. It will be.
Worth it. Best joke I've made in a long time.
I know. It was.
So, they're really getting mad at her for... Now, here's the deal. Did she, specially ask for this because they don't do this normally, or is this, a thing that
it's
they
common.
do on this cruise?
It's a thing that they do. It's a
common thing that a Norwegian cruise line in the probably somewhere near Norwegian waters,
Greenland,
they do this on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And icebergs grow back. I don't know how. I don't know what to say. I don't know if they're grass or whatnot, but if they've been doing this for a while, it's not like we're running out of icebergs. They do know.
Depends on who you talk to, sir. Depends on who you talk to. Lots of people think we're running out of icebergs.
I won't miss one. We'll just have oceanfront property if icebergs do disappear. We won't be landlocked anymore.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there. That's. Do you remember? Because I was into the, I don't know what you would say, alternative. This was back when I was a kid.
Flat
alternative
Earth?
Media. No, not flat Earth. Not flat Earth. But there is the predictions going around that in 1996, they were showing all these maps that America was just going to be all around oceans, and that basically we were going to have in Oklahoma an ocean right next to us, and California was going to be gone, and everybody was. But it was supposed to happen in 1996, and it never happened. Yeah. And I don't hear anybody talk about how stupid that was. But it was everywhere, in my circles.
Because most places are like, it's going to happen in 96, and in 96 when it doesn't happen, they're like, we got slightly wrong, 2006. But we got to get past Y2K first. If Y2K doesn't kill all of us, in 06, oceans.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we had then we had the 2012 Mayan apocalypse.
Yep, I remember that. Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
And shortly after that, we were going to be in oceans again not because of earthquakes, but this time because of climate change, and that never happened. And
Well,
people are still making money off of
yeah.
predicting the end of the
Well,
world.
my problem is if only if El Nino and La Nina would stop fighting and figure their marriage out, I think it would be all right. They could just reconcile their differences.
Yeah.
Because them two keep fighting, and then we get 115-degree consistent for a month. Because the Ninas can't figure their stuff out in the sky.
Yeah. What do you know?
It's been so hot outside that 80 degrees feels like it's the sun.
Man, it's been nice. Even walking, like, we've been in the low 90s, and walking, like, outside is awesome. Oh, this feels so good.
This last week it's been.
It's 92 degrees, but you're just like, oh, I'm just going to lay out in the sun. This is beautiful. I love it. It's so perfect.
That a breeze that's not like someone, last month somebody decided to turn on the air fryer outside.
Something. Yeah.
It was miserable. Well, hey, next week we'll be serving iceberg during the episode.
Will we?
I don't know.
Oh, I was hoping something.
I'll see if I can get one mailed in.
Or we should have mudslides. I don't even know if that's what she has, but it looks like it. Follow her on Instagram. It looks like she has a mudslide.
Heard those kill people in Mexico. Do we wanna? Let's move this along. Let's
go. What are we doing now? We've got so much to talk about. This is going to take a long time.
Movie review.
Unless you don't want to jump into that yet, and I can edit it.
It's too late. You already did. You've already.
I can edit that out.
No, let's go. Who's got comments? Do I have comments in still?
Do I try? Media. I haven't even tried.
Okay. I didn't want to try because I was like, oh, he might try, and I don't want to waste.
No, because I tried last week and didn't have it.
Okay. Oh, here it is. Cool. Found it. All right. Anyway, so Metacritic. What does Metacritic have to say?
So, let's just talk about our first thoughts. Opening thoughts. What'd you think of this movie?
I liked this movie. This was the first James Bond movie released.
Yes.
And I know James Bond movies to be really gimmicky, but this one, I mean, the guy had hands that were like metal or something, but that was really it. There wasn't too many like off the wall cheesy gimmicks. It was
no weird. He didn't use any gadgets.
Exactly. Yeah. Nothing. I mean, yeah. It was all straightforward.
It was more like a detective movie. It was almost like a detective movie.
Yeah.
He's really not. There's not a lot of action, violent scenes. There are some action scenes.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of investigation going on.
Right.
And there's just a lot of
that's fair.
Him just sleuthing around trying to figure out what's going on here.
Yep.
And I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I guess I'd never, for some reason, ever seen this movie.
Me neither.
Somehow.
Me neither.
Like, and I love young Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Like, that was fantastic to see. But, is it horrible that he's the only one I really recognized from this entire movie? I really didn't recognize anybody else.
Right. Is anybody else even in the movie?
I think it was just him.
I think it was.
I want to say that some of Ursula Andress, which was Honey, I think she was in some stuff, but in the 60s. Like, there's not, I don't.
Right.
But like I was saying, I don't think this didn't seem like a star like packed movie. But
right, I agree.
But I don't know what all Connery did before this. I don't know if this was like one of his like first star roles.
Oh, that's a good Yeah, maybe. Huh.
I'll look that up real quick. Sean Connery.
And we hadn't got the gimmicks yet. We haven't got the gadgets yet. We started to get into the interesting female names. If you remember, James Bond movies or books are famous for the really iconic names for the
Yeah.
female stars. And Honey Rider and even Sylvia Trench, who seems to have started the last name, first name, last name.
Yeah.
That I've always known as Bond, James Bond, but she was the first one to say Trench, Sylvia Trench. Who are you? And then he said Bond, James Bond, basically mimicking her, which I thought was super interesting because I've always known that to be a Bond. What I don't know what you would say, phrase, slogan,
Yeah.
catch line, catchphrase, Bond, James Bond. But she was the first one to do it. Trench, Sylvia Trench. And what was crazy is she ended up not being. I thought she was going to be somebody. I thought she was going to be like the bad guy or.
Which one was she? Was she the photographer?
No, she was the one, the card
Oh.
game at the beginning.
Oh, her. Yes.
And she ended up never showing up again. And I thought she was going to be a big deal.
I gotta leave immediately. Immediately? Yeah, immediately. Immediately? Well, relatively immediately. Yeah, he didn't do. Yeah. He did a lot of TV stuff leading up, and he was in Macbeth, which was a TV movie in '61. But he did a bunch of TV movies and miniseries before he was in Dr. No.
Okay.
But then he did Dr. No from Russia with Love, which was the second Bond movie. Then Goldfinger in '64. Thunderball in '65. Which looks like he just did Bond until
became Bond.
That was kind of his thing until he stopped being James Bond. I guess he did Bond for a while, didn't he?
He was Bond a long time. He even took a break and then came back again later and reprised after there was a few new other Bonds.
Did he? Because in '67 it was You Only Live Twice was a Bond in '67, and he didn't do it again until '71 and Diamonds Are Forever. Looks like that's about the last one he was in. Oh, Never Say Never Again in '83 he was Bond again. That's what you were talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't realize they I thought once they took him away, they didn't.
I think he was the only one to do it. He was the only one to leave Bond and then eventually come back to Bond after we've had a couple Bonds.
Okay. Because he was old. I don't want to say older. He was quite a bit older when he came back in '83. So he wasn't that just absolute young, slender. He's super tall. He's 6'2", but he looked tall in this movie. I guess they had all short co-stars.
He's 6'2". That's super tall for an actor.
It is, but I thought in some of those scenes in this movie, like he looked like he was like basketball player height.
Yeah, how crazy.
But I guess in the '60s, 6'2" was tall for a basketball player too. So, let's see what Metacritic has to say. How about that?
Let's do that.
8 critics out of 100.
Only 8?
Only 8.
From this iconic James Bond movie, but this is back in the '60s. Did they enjoy it? Sean Connery was a no-name. I think they gave it a 63.
You'd be wrong on that one. 78.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Oh, down.
108 users out of 10.
Giggity. 6.9.
You were closer on this one. but this is close to the critics as well. 7.5.
Okay. Okay.
So seems like it's a well received movie.
Yeah.
So let's get down here into it. Critics, all 8 positive, which I don't understand how it only got a 78 if ever no negative reviews to draw it down. That's weird. Users had 91 positive, 15 mixed, 2 negative. The Guardian gave it its highest score of a 90. That's probably why it didn't have that high of a score.
Okay.
The other is a scene improvised on the set when Bond does a double take on seeing Goya's portrait of the Duke of Wellington, originally stolen from the London. Oh,
I do remember that. What was that scene about? I don't
in
understand.
Doctor No's living room. It's the funniest moment in any Bond picture and one of some of his great art jokes. Yeah, he's walking up and there's that picture and he double takes and he takes a step back huh?
Yeah.
And then just
Yeah, it was weird.
nothing. I forgot about it until I just mentioned it. Variety gave it an 80. First screen adventure of Ian Fleming's hard-hitting, fearless, imperturbable, girl-loving Secret Service agent 007, James Bond, is an entertaining piece of tongue-in-cheek action. Hokum? Sean Connery excellently puts over a cool, fearless, on-the-ball, fictional Secret Service guy. Terrence Young directs with a pace which only occasionally lags.
Okay.
Not much going on there. Let's do. That's weird. New York Times gave it its lowest score of a 70. This lively, amusing picture is not to be taken seriously as realistic fiction or even art, any more than the works of Mr. Fleming are to be taken as long hair literature, and is strictly a tinseled action thriller spiked with mystery of a sort. And if you are clever, you will see it as a spoof of science fiction and sex. Okay. Oh.
Okay.
Well, interesting. What does Cummins' media have to say?
So we get, and I don't know if we've ever had this person before, Elliot Panek, Panek, I don't know, but that's our person, Elliot. Elliot says this is 007's silver screen debut with action and bikinis. He gives it a 3 out of. He gives it a 3 out of 5 for 11 and older. Parents give it a 4 out of 5 for 11 and older, and kids give it a 4 out of 5 for 10 and older. So let's jump into the review.
Let's do this.
Positive, or I wonder. I'm gonna give you a. Let's mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna tell you what Elliot thinks parents need to know, and then you tell me based on that review.
Oh, of what they say.
Of what they say, what you think they'll give them instead of just winging it.
Interesting.
So this is kind of like it's easy mode. I'm going to give you easy mode here.
No. I doubt this will be easy.
So parents need to know that Dr. No is the first James Bond 007 movie from 1962. It contains fighting, shooting, and killing with a little blood shown. It's relatively tame today, but was arguably among the more violent movies made in 1962. Though Bond is a hero striving to solve problems and protect the world from evil, his methods are questionable. He has a license to kill, quote unquote. He seduces several women, no nudity is shown, drinks, smokes cigarettes, gambles, and generally bosses people around. Despite all this, he projects an image of cool confidence, and he has fascinated generations of action movie fans. Since the series is still going on 50 years later, teens will be interested in going back to see earlier entries. And then it's like, subscribe to our blah blah blah. If you want to learn about movies. All right.
So that was what? Which one? That was positive messages you read there, or is that the whole movie?
That was what parents need to know.
Oh, that's just what parents need to know. So you want me to guess what he? What am I trying to guess?
Now we're going into positive messages.
Oh,
What do you
okay.
think? Based on what parents need to know, what did Elliot say the positive message score would be?
A 2.
A 1.
Wow.
Very little. Bond is a force for good, working to solve problems and protect the world from evil criminals. But he specifically works for the British government, and his loyalty is to them. His methods are also questionable. I love it, like their whole thing, like why it's not positive is because he works for the British government. If he was a U.S. spy, this would be a 5 out of 5. But he's loyal to the Brits, and
he's a 00 agent. He's not just a run-of-the-mill secret agent. He's a 00 agent.
So he gave him a 1 for positive messages. What about positive role models?
A 1. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. So Bond is a highly skilled hero, dedicated to solving problems around the world. His methods involve killing, for which he has a license, seducing many women,
from which he has a license,
drinking, smoking cigarettes, gambling, and generally bossing people around.
I don't remember. Did he boss people around?
I don't know. I mean, what is bossing people around, you know?
I don't remember. Okay.
How about violence and scariness?
See, and this one's where I'm going to get it wrong, because overall, I'd probably only give this maybe a 2. But I bet you he gives it like a 4 or 5.
So Elliot is closer to you. He says 3. Some.
Okay.
Several characters are shot and killed.
Yep.
Some blood is shown, but not much. There's also a good deal of fighting. A character commits suicide. There's a flaming car crash, which that was hilarious.
Yeah.
The flaming.
Where are they going? They're probably heading to a funeral.
Yeah, and then they just drive off, and then all of a sudden it just bursts into flames because that's so realistic. One character is burned alive, though it's not graphically depicted.
That kind of sucked. That was unrealistic in my mind.
Yeah,
That was a small little thing of fire, and then also he just falls over and is sitting there burning alive. He's dead instantly.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's
those dragons, man. They'll get you every time.
Oh man, I liked him.
This one's gonna be a tough one too. Sex, romance, and nudity.
Yes, it exists. I thought I saw a little bit of nudity when they were coming out of this cleaning station before they robed her. I'm like, wait, but I don't think it really showed hardly anything.
Probably not.
Which I thought, oh, it's going to show up. I mean, I guess these movies don't show any?
I don't think so. I don't think any Bond movie shows anything.
But there's a lot of insinuation. I bet you he gave it a 4. I'd have gave it a 3.
Well, he agrees with you. He said 3. So.
Okay.
Bond seduces and sleeps with more than one woman without repercussions. There's kissing, scantily clad women, and sexual innuendo. I'm surprised that they didn't give it, and maybe they'll do something with it later. Well, no, because it would have been violence. But like how he just completely uses the woman that is working for Dr. No. Like, he knows exactly who she is and what she is, but he just does what he wants and then has her arrested afterwards. After hours. I'm just like, oh my goodness. I figured that would have popped up in here as, I don't know, something. Somebody would have said something. Language.
Not present.
I didn't hear anything either. This dude says 2 out of 5.
What was said?
He said, hell is used more than once, and damn is heard once. I didn't hear any of them.
That's a 1 if I've heard, if anything.
Yeah, but I was with you. I didn't think they said anything. So
they're one of the cleanest movies I've seen, because even the violence with the gunshots.
Yeah, it was.
There was like no blood until I turned them, and then you saw like a red spot on him. Even when they beat the crap out of him, there really wasn't that much blood. So
Yeah.
What else we got?
We got products and purchases next.
No person.
He says 1. A bottle of Smirnoff vodka is shown.
Oh, I did see that.
And we see several crates of Red Stripe beer in Jamaica.
Love that stuff. Makes me want to go.
Heard,
what?
Never heard of Red Stripe.
You've
Red Stripe beer? Never heard of Red
You've
Stripe
never heard
beer.
of Red Stripe Jamaican lager? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to buy
No.
I'm gonna have to buy a 6-pack and bring it over and we'll have to drink it one night.
Yeah, do it.
And watch some
Next
cool
game
run-ins.
Okay, let's go. If that's real, let's do it. I'm down.
I used to drink Red Stripe all the time.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I love it.
All right.
Comes in these little weird like short bottles.
Do they have red stripes on them?
It just says Red Stripe and it's got like a red and white label.
If it doesn't have a red stripe, I'd be super disappointed.
But you know how like a tall neck glass bottle?
Yeah.
Well, instead of having like the tall neck on it, just imagine it's got a little stubby neck. It's like the same, like the meat of the bottle, like the main part of the bottle, still the same height.
Yeah.
But it's got a little stubby neck on it.
That's funny. Okay.
It's good. I love the stuff. I'm gonna have to probably buy some this weekend or this coming week. Thanks, Austin.
All right.
Thanks, Commons Media, making me want to drink beer.
Products and purchases, right there.
Got me.
It should be a higher than a 1. It should be a 5. It's actually going to cause you to buy something. That's never happened before. This is a first in Pantless Podcast history. Drinking, drugs, and smoking.
Yes. A 3?
Yeah, 3. Bond is shown smoking a cigarette the first time he appears on camera. He makes it look cool. Many characters smoke in a background, casual way. Bond drinks his trademark vodka martini, and a secondary character is shown drinking a little too much rum. There are many other scenes of characters drinking socially.
You know, if they didn't mention him drinking rum, you would have not known he was drinking rum out of that. They made like one comment that he drinks too much rum. And he was just drinking out of that big jug. Yeah, it could have been water. I feel like some of the other Common Sense Media critics would have gave that way higher because there was cigarette smoking throughout. It's a 60s movie. Everyone's smoking.
Yeah.
So
let's go down. Kids say, a 10-year-old kid said this is a 5 out of 5 for 12 and older. He rated it 10 months ago. So we got a 10-year-old.
Heck yeah.
Just at the end of last year say this is the best Bond film ever. Too good. Amazing film. Brilliant. But too much violence and bad attitudes towards women, but brilliant. Spelling women, W-E-M-E-N. This is actually a kid. This title has a great message. It has too much drinking, drugs, and smoking, too much violence, and too much sex. But somebody found that a very helpful review. So kudos to the kid. Their name is Kid.
Kid.
10 years old. Yeah, Kid.
Good job, Kid.
We got another 5 out of 5 from a parent named Bobby.
Good job,
Bobby NYS said,
Kid. Great
film. I let my 12-year-old son watch. Just had to fast forward one scene where sensitive parts are visible on women. It has burning people alive and bloody shootings, but I think that stuff is okay for most 12-year-olds. This title has too much sex, too much violence, but 5 out of 5 for 12 and older.
I think in that section, I think they need to change up their website where it just says it has some and some instead of. It sounds like whenever you're making those reviews, you just click it has too much of this, instead of being like, hey, it's got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that.
Right.
Because it seems like it's too much of this. But
that's fair.
Again, I don't think my kids would sit through this movie.
All right. What are we watching next week, sir? Have we got a theme? Are we feeling something? Are we thinking Sean Connery? Do we want to go with Ursula Andress? Find, a movie that she was in?
How far do we want to stay a ways back, or do we want to try to come a little further forward? We want
What
to
are
stay
you
with Sean
feeling?
Connery?
What? Yeah. What? I mean, I know we've done some Sean Connery, or we did. We've done a couple Sean Connerys.
Can we watch this movie anywhere? Or well, I really don't want to do that.
But what Sean Connery have we not watched? That would be cool to watch.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Ooh, interesting.
Have you
Yeah.
seen it?
When I saw it in theaters when it first came out, and that was the
Really?
only time.
It's not on anything. Is the problem?
Oh gosh.
I know.
So Buffer City,
Yeah, I'm just not in the mood to do that right now.
but he's got some bangers out there, man. The Rock, Dragonheart. Let's go through. What else? Robin Hood, Prince. Did we watch Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves? I have a feeling we reviewed that movie already.
Is that one of his?
He's in it. He might be the king. Yeah, he's King Richard.
That's Kevin Costner, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've
I thought
done
we watched
one.
that.
We've done
It's
that
not on
one.
it's not on our list, but I could have sworn we did it too.
That's one I'm
But
pretty sure we're gonna do some more investigations on that one. Let me look on the Netflix real quick.
we did The Hunt for Red October.
We have done that one.
He's in Indiana. We did an Indiana Jones movie recently, but he's in the
He's
Last
in the third one.
Crusade. Highlander. Is that There Can Only Be One? Is that what this is?
I think that's the original movie.
I've never seen that. I'd be down for watching that one. That was on something.
Starship Troopers is on Netflix.
He's in Starship Troopers?
No, but I'm just saying. Oh, you know what?
Oh.
You know what? You know what I want to watch? Because I
What
don't
do you
think
wanna
we've
watch?
watched it yet. Me and a guy were talking about this one at work. Let's go Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah. We haven't watched Conan the Barbarian?
I don't think we have.
Okay. Let's watch it.
1982. It just popped up on Netflix here. I want something I don't have to go digging for. Sorry.
Hey, the speaking of Netflix, the new live action One Piece is
I
out
know.
on
I did.
Netflix.
I know. Me and the wife are probably gonna be watching that this weekend. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I never watched the anime, and I'm told there's way too many episodes to start now, so just go ahead with the live one.
You need to. You need to watch The Way of the House Husband. Did you ever start watching that one?
I've started it, haven't finished. I watched a couple, 2 or 3 episodes.
You need to watch all of it. And if you guys are watching, watch it. Ooh, Liar Liar's on here now too. We've done hardly enough Jim Carrey. But we're gonna do
Conan.
Conan the Barbarian.
All right, I'm doing it.
Now, I just realized what we forgot to do before the movie review.
What do we do? What do we forget?
Our predictions.
I predict we're going to do the movie review.
Our football predictions.
Oh yeah, our annual. What's our team going to do this year that I aced last year?
Hey, do we
Throwing
want
that out there?
Idea?
Okay.
And do we want to just end this episode here? We tell them goodbye, and then we do a dedicated video that I drop literally tonight. That's just the movie review. I mean, not the movie, but just the prediction.
Do it on. Yeah, that's fine.
That's a separate episode. It's not even on the podcast.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Kind of like a shorty.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna call it here. Watch Conan the Barbarian. Hit us up next week.
Yeah.
Leave us a voicemail. We haven't got one of those yet. Still waiting. Waiting for that voicemail. Sweet voicemail.
I need to check our socials and our email. I haven't checked that in forever. Haven't even looked at our Twitter in a long time.
Our X. We don't even have Twitter, sir. What year is this? All right, peeps. Later. We'll see you.